On day 1, a strange red monster was attacking my neighborhood. Fires were everywhere, and people were being slaughtered left and right. Mom! Dad! Where are you?
Cletus is dead, ladies and gentlemen. Do you know what that means? It's time for a new host, and I'll be selecting one of you to do the honors.
After a lot of running, I made it home. Mom!
Son, this is all our fault. All of it.
No! Wait, Dad! I ran outside looking for my dad. It wasn't long before I found him captured by the red monster.
Look, Carnage, no one wants to be your host. Cletus was your perfect match. Anyone else would just fight the evil attached to them.
It doesn't matter. They don't have a choice.
Just then, Carnage spotted me.
And I think I just found the perfect candidate.
No, not my son!
Carnage then started slowly walking towards me.
Son, listen to me. You can overpower him. Stay strong and find my laboratory. It holds secrets to kill him.
Shut up.
No!
It's time for our little partnership to begin.
Carnage then attached onto me and I passed out. On day 2, I woke up as Carnage. I felt an immense power wash over me and an intense desire to take over the world.
Good. Looks like my little takeover is working.
I didn't waste any time and got straight back to destroying the neighborhood. As Carnage, I had demonic tentacle powers. This is incredible! I went around the entire neighborhood, killing villager after villager. No one can stop me!
That's where you're wrong, Carnage. It's lousy criminals like you that make this job so fun. Sorry, pal, but I can't let this go unpunished.
Blah, blah, blah. Let's tango, webhead. With that, Spider-Man and I charged at each other. He was an impressive fighter, using his webs and acrobatics to his advantage. I was impressive too, though, using my tentacles to chip down his health. Spider-Man was skilled in brawling up close and used his fists to hit me down. He even tried to stop me in my tracks with his powerful web shooting abilities, but I was determined to win. I slashed and slashed with my tendrils, and while Spider-Man was able to evade some of them, he couldn't evade the entire onslaught. Gradually, the hero began to submit more and more to my overwhelming power. After duking it out for a long time, I successfully brought Spider-Man down.
How can this be? I'm Spider-Man.
And wait, who am I?
We are Carnage.
Oh yeah, I am Carnage!
Who you are doesn't matter. You won't get away with this. Iron Man, Thor, Ant-Man, Doctor Strange, Venom, and many more are gonna find you.
I'm gonna find and kill them one by one!
You're insane.
No, I am Carnage.
No, I am Carnage! After killing Spider-Man, I gained 5 hearts and his web shooters, allowing me to shoot webs and swing onto walls. Sweet! I also gained Spider-Man's acrobatics, allowing me to backflip. Then it's settled! I will kill each of Spider-Man's friends and gain their powers! But first, I'm gonna find some food. I went out to a nearby field, killing some sheep and eating some raw meat. This caused me to be inflicted with hunger. Ugh, I don't feel so hot. The hunger then caused the symbiote to hide away, revealing my true self again. What happened? My parents. I have to find my parents' laboratory and stop that Carnage monster.
No, you don't. You have to find the superheroes and kill them. Then we'll get all of their powers.
What? I would never! Get out of my head!
You're lucky that meat nauseated me. The bond has just begun. More and more I will take over your body. Until we meet again.
After a while, the voice went away, so I decided it was best I make some shelter. I started by punching some trees and then mining cobblestone with my new wood tools. After that, I got started on a small hut. It wasn't much, but it would have to do for tonight. Once it was finished, I made myself a bed. Not too bad. After that, I made a furnace, cooking the remainder of my mutton. Everything is horrible, but at least this is kinda peaceful.
We know you're in there, Carnage. Come out or we shoot.
Huh? I was suddenly overwhelmed by a SWAT team with weapons pointed in my direction. Oh man, how am I supposed to get out of this one?
You're under arrest for the murders of East Village and Spider-Man.
It wasn't me, I swear! I would never do that! Carnage was controlling me!
That's it. Men, shoot with the intent to kill.
The SWAT team began to fire a flurry of bullets at my base. Ah! I gotta get out of here! I quickly made an opening and ran for my life.
He went out the back. After him.
I frantically ran as fast as I could. The police were close on my tail, ready to strike. What do I do? What do I do? Just then, a creepy voice in my head began speaking.
I know what to do.
Not you again! I thought you were gone!
It's gonna be a lot harder to get rid of me. Let me take control.
Sure, whatever it takes to help me survive.
Perfect. We are Carnage.
With Carnage in total control, I turned around and ran directly at the SWAT members.
There he is. Fire!
With Spider-Man's abilities now in our arsenal, we use it to swiftly avoid the onslaught of bullets coming at us.
Keep firing, men!
With Carnage, I was unbelievably strong, making quick work of all the enemies who stood in our way. With this incredible power, I was now able to take down the entire SWAT team with immense ease.
We must grow more powerful. Must find another superhero to kill.
Hey pal, you had your fun. Let me have control back.
Fine.
Just then, Ant-Man appeared and grew into a giant before our very eyes.
Stop right there, red dude. You're not getting away that easy.
Psych! Help me fight this guy first.
Looks like my lucky day.
Carnage charged towards Ant-Man with killer instincts with the intent to take his powers for ourselves. He didn't make it easy though, growing bigger and smaller whenever he pleased. Ant-Man bombarded us with quantum bombs, wounding us and cratering the surrounding environment. Between growing and shrinking, Ant-Man was able to not only evade our attacks, but land hits too. Thankfully, we were stronger than we seemed. We had Spider-Man's powers at our disposal. We slowed down Ant-Man with our webs and used our acrobatics to evade his attacks. The fight was tough, but in the end, Carnage managed to bring Ant-Man to his knees. Okay, Carnage, we had our fun. Maybe we just let him go?
Those powers will be perfect for our arsenal. We can't let him go. But first, tell me where Doctor Strange is.
I would never. I'm not gonna betray my friends.
You tell me or you die.
Carnage!
Oof. Man, you drive a hard bargain. All right. He's laying low in another dimension, but you can only get there through the Sanctum Sanctorum. This map should lead you there.
He then tossed a map to Doctor Strange's location.
Perfect. Any last words?
But you said!
Weird choice of last words.
Without any remorse, Carnage forced me to slay Ant-Man and absorb his powers, giving us 5 more hearts, the ability to change size, and Ant-Man's quantum bombs.
Good.
Okay, enough, Carnage! At least give me partial control of my body.
Fine.
Carnage relinquished partial control and we went on our way. We followed Ant-Man's map to find and destroy the next superhero on Carnage's list, Doctor Strange. After much travel, we finally arrived at a somewhat normal-looking building.
So this is where the Doctor lives. How cute.
I agree. I like the design. I infiltrated the building to discover a room full of different treasures. Whoa, this place is awesome!
What a load of junk. Where are you, Strange?
Upon searching the area, I found an object that reminded me of something. What's this?
What's that?
The meteor houses a symbiote. Please contain it within your lab. If it gets loose, it could be catastrophic.
Of course.
Thank you both.
It's a shame we have to lock up something with so much potential.
Wait, Doctor Strange worked with my parents? Suddenly, a man emerged from behind us.
You are not supposed to be here. Leave at once.
Doctor Strange, I presume.
No. The name's Wong, Sorcerer Supreme. State your business.
Tell me where Strange is or die.
That sounds like his usual business. Sadly, I can't give you that information. Stand down, beast.
Not until I have Strange for myself.
Carnage lunged at the sorcerer and we began to battle. Wong summoned a mystical blade embedded with powerful magic. He was a surprisingly skilled swordsman and engaged us with swift attacks. But that wasn't all Wong had up his sleeve. He conjured portals out of thin air and sent an onslaught of blades at us. He was a tough foe to overcome, but with all the powers we had so far, we managed to chip him down hit by hit. Eventually, we shrunk down out of his sight, allowing us to sneak up and deal the finishing blow. Upon the sorcerer's death, he dropped a sling ring that would help us travel to different dimensions and his magical Caliburn sword.
Ready or not, Strange? I'll be there soon.
On days 17 through 19, I traveled into a new dimension, but Doctor Strange was nowhere to be found. Looks like I'll just have to lure him out. Carnage and I began to wreak mayhem on the dimension, hoping all of our noise and chaos would catch his attention.
Come on out, Strange.
The plan worked, and Doctor Strange appeared before us.
I can't tell you that I was expecting to take out an intergalactic red slug today, but here we are.
Our rampage has only just begun.
Using the powers we got from Ant-Man, Carnage grew 10 times his size.
Oh my god. You murdered Ant-Man. You will not make it out of here alive.
Doctor Strange casted magic unlike anything we had faced thus far. He conjured numerous portals that fired earth-melting lasers at us. Too many hits from those would deal massive damage. We had to be careful. In combination with his sorcery, Strange had the ability to fly. He soared through the air and fired attack after attack with every intention to end us now. Unfortunately for him, Carnage and I had consumed the powers of 3 heroes already. Thanks to the culmination of our incredible abilities, we were able to stand a chance against him. With the combination of Spider-Man and Ant-Man's abilities, we grew large one final time and dealt a grave blow onto Doctor Strange.
I need to run.
Strange quickly conjured a portal and fled into another dimension.
Come back here.
We pursued Doctor Strange through the portal and found him kneeling down on his last legs.
It's finally time for my prize.
Surprise!
Strange conjured a powerful laser and blasted it directly at us. The attack caused Carnage to retreat back into my body, allowing me to regain control temporarily.
I thought I recognized you. Max? You're Carnage's host?
How do you know me?
I knew your parents. Their research was going to change the world, but they made a grave error.
He's making me do things. The worst part is, I feel some of the evil he feels, but I don't want to. Where can I find my parents' laboratory?
Tony Stark might be able to help, but there's no time. The symbiote has already manipulated you too far. I must destroy you.
Just then, Doctor Strange began to shoot his magical attacks at me. I tried my best to evade, but in my normal state, I was too vulnerable. I thought I was done for, but Carnage took over at the last moment, saving me from the onslaught.
Sorry, must have fallen asleep.
He caught Strange off guard and landed the finishing blow, granting us Doctor Strange's staff and 5 more hearts.
3 down and so many more to go.
Yeah, and make sure you watch until the end to see what heroes we fight and what powers we gain next. On days 24 through 27, Carnage and I began to seek out our next victim.
I can't wait to rip Iron Man out of his suit and consume him.
Tony knew something about my parents, so he could help track down their lab. The problem was, I had to keep it a secret from Carnage, otherwise I would be dead meat. We arrived at Stark Industries. It was an absolutely immaculate building in the middle of the city. To our surprise though, the place was completely abandoned.
No, that little rich boy already escaped.
Out of nowhere, Venom emerged.
You fell right into a trap, Red One. Prepare to die.
We jumped from where we were standing and began the battle. Venom might have looked small, but he was unmatched in strength. He was able to transform his hand into a blade as well as a hammer that would inflict poison damage onto us. We used all of the powers we had, but it seemed like nothing was enough to do the symbiote in. Even stomping down in our giant form didn't stop Venom's wrath. The battle between symbiotes was fierce, but Venom was too powerful. Carnage was weakened enough to return control of my body to me.
Wait, you're not Cletus Cassidy.
I'm Max! I hate being evil! I just want my body back!
Well, in that case, we should form an alliance. I know a thing or two about symbiotes.
So you can get rid of Carnage?
No, but I can help you reclaim your mind. We will be in touch.
Venom leapt away, and I felt hopeful for the first time in a while. I'm finally in control again. I better make the most of it. Just then, I spotted an item in the distance. It was a piece of Carnage. This must have fallen off during the fight. This will definitely come in handy. I returned home and continued to expand my base. I needed to have a spot to hide away from the city to keep people safe. While I was at it, I used my Carnage pickaxe to gather up some iron, as well as some cobblestone and coal. Once I got back, I began to build a miniature lab in honor of my parents. I finished my expansion just as Carnage came too.
Where did Venom go?
He kicked your butt.
That's humiliating. I'll hunt him down and show that clown who the real symbiote is.
On days 28 through 30, Carnage and I were looking for Venom to seek his revenge.
Where is that pipsqueak?
Yeah, about that. Maybe we could take a break? Fighting all these heroes is exhausting.
I could say the same thing about fighting villains.
Who are you?
Oh, me? I'm just the most accurate archer this world has ever seen. I'm Hawkeye.
What's so funny? This guy is a joke. He doesn't have powers. He just shoots a bow and arrow.
Come on, man. Not you too. You know what? Let me prove to you how powerful I am. Then we'll see who's laughing. Ow, 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 ow. Please stop. Please stop.
After a lot of punching, Carnage and I took down Hawkeye, but we didn't gain any powers. I guess you were right, Carnage. That guy was lame. On days 31 through 33, during our search for the next superhero to kill, we spotted a destroyed neighborhood. What happened here?
That was the work I did before we merged together. Isn't it beautiful?
That's messed up, dude.
You humans are just too fun to watch squirm.
What? You know what? I'm sick of this. Get out of my head.
You're a foolish host. You can't separate from me now. Our minds are one.
No, I can't help you murder any longer. I'm taking control. I charged blindly at Carnage and began to battle with it, but I was completely defenseless. The only thing in my mind I had to help me were my fists. I struggled for as long as I could, but its power was too great for me to overcome.
Silly boy, I am the master of this domain.
Carnage took full control over my body, but before he could get comfortable, lightning struck nearby.
You must be the red threat killing my friends.
Yes, another hero has come to me on a silver platter.
I won't go down that easy.
In that moment, the two mighty warriors clashed. Carnage used everything in our arsenal to try and take out the god, but he was unlike anything we had faced thus far. Thor was able to use the power of his hammer to summon lightning from above, hitting us whenever we least expected it. On top of this, he was extremely mobile, using Mjolnir to give him the power of flight. Although we were incredibly powerful at this point, it was hard to use those powers to chip down his health. He continued to fly and use his hammer, hurting us more and more. Despite all of our efforts, Thor was too powerful to defeat. He levitated upwards and began to prepare the finishing blow.
No, I never lose. The man in tights must have a weakness.
We're gonna die! Use the sling ring!
Don't tell me what to do.
We used the sling ring to teleport to a safe area and narrowly escape with our lives.
Well, I didn't see that one coming. The hunt continues.
On days 38 through 41, Carnage and I arrived at the end.
I lost to Venom and now Thor? They're going to die.
Stop being so reckless. You're putting my life on the line too. Suddenly, the Scarlet Witch approached us.
Hello, travelers. You seem lost. I could tell you your fortune to give you guidance.
Actually, a little guidance would be appreciated right now.
I can sense there's two of you sharing one body. Let me start with you in the glasses.
What are your thoughts?
It's extremely hostile.
But it also exhibits so much power. Imagine the possibilities if we could harness it.
My thoughts exactly.
Wait, are you Tony Stark?
The one and only. How about we discuss a collaboration?
Tony made a deal with my parents? If anyone knows where the lab is, he would.
Ooh, me next.
Your future looks like it's one full of death. The answers to your problems lie in the hands of the god of mischief, Loki.
But that guy's behind bars.
Time for a jailbreak.
On days 42 through 44, Carnage and I arrived at the Raft prison to speak with Loki.
All right, Max, you'll take over from here. They wouldn't let someone like me infiltrate a prison.
Carnage then relinquished control of my body. This is wrong on so many levels. I'm leaving. I started to walk away, but Carnage took control of my legs and turned me around.
No, you're going inside.
I marched to the door against my will and was confronted with a guard. I'm here to visit Loki?
Sure. I like your pants, by the way.
Thanks. They're Gucci.
Ah, so you want to take out my brother, do you? And I'd love to help, but not without you doing something for me first.
And what's that?
I need you to break me out.
I can't do that.
We can do that.
Carnage took over my body and began to smash through all of the glass like nothing, causing all of the guards to barrel in. The alarms went off and bullets flew, but we took them like nothing. Wave after wave of guards ran through the door, but we were able to defeat them all with ease.
Well, looks like we have ourselves an alliance.
On days 45 through 47, we returned to the base and I got to work on a room for Loki to stay in.
Okay, well, not bad.
That's what I thought.
What do you say we do some training, eh, chum?
It was time to do some training. Loki showed off some of his powers, teleporting around the field and using his mind to control blocks. He used his powers against us, and I could tell he was a tough adversary. Even with the might of so many superheroes, Loki's abilities had us winded. Eventually night fell, and Carnage was pooped.
Phew, I'm going to bed.
Carnage took a nap, giving me full control over my body.
I'm pretty tired too.
Suddenly, Venom reappeared.
Oh no, you don't. It's time to train. Focus. The more you focus, the sharper your blade will be.
I was traveling through the fog of my mind, slicing up mobs as I went. Suddenly, I came across Carnage, who was sleeping like a baby. I snuck around him and continued my training.
Great work. Now you should be better equipped to mentally defend yourself.
Before Venom left, he gave me a clue that would help me lead to Iron Man, so I put it somewhere Carnage wouldn't find it. After that was finished, Carnage woke up.
Alright, time to hunt down Thor.
On days 48 through 50, we made it to a snowy landscape to fight the God of Thunder himself.
He knows we're here. Prepare yourselves.
As if on cue, lightning struck and Thor descended from the sky.
Recruiting my delinquent brother won't bring you any closer to victory, Red One.
I think you'll be surprised, pretty boy.
With that, Loki teleported away and Carnage and I jumped into battle with Thor. I felt the mighty power of his blows again, and I wasn't confident we actually could win this fight. We switched between all of our different powers, combining them into new combos I hadn't tried in our previous battle. Thanks to our bigger arsenal, I had even more powers to overwhelm him this time around. But even so, Thor's immense strength was overwhelming. Loki, hurry! On my command, Loki appeared behind Thor and used his teleportation to disorient him. While he was confused, we shot a massive beam at him, landing the killing blow. Yes! We absorbed his godlike powers, gaining more hearts and making us even more powerful.
We did it! Now Asgard will be mine for the taking.
You mean mine?
Carnage took full control and killed Loki with Thor's hammer, taking his hearts and power too. What the heck, dude?
Now I have the power of two gods. I'd like to see Venom fight me now.
On days 51 through 53, things were getting bad quick. I needed to find a way to expel Carnage from my body, and soon. I decided to investigate that clue I got from Venom. Okay, let's see. Carnage then came out to see what I was doing.
What's that?
Grocery list?
Boring. Give me those dinosaur nuggets I like.
Phew. I followed the clue to a mysterious landing pad. Looks like an aircraft was supposed to be here. Suddenly, a group of Starkbots came out and started attacking.
Carnage detected. Defend Tony. Beep boop.
Uh-oh. I would have gotten Carnage to help, but I didn't want him to find out my secret. I tried my best to fend them off with just my Carnage hand, but there were just too many for me to handle. Without the evil Carnage, I was pretty weak. You guys are lucky my red guy isn't here.
You're lucky our red guy isn't here. Beep boop.
Once I was far enough away, I found a spot to collect my thoughts. That landing pad must be a clue to Tony. I better keep my eyes on the skies. On days 54 through 56, I explored the city rooftops for a better vantage point to spot Tony's aircraft. During my travels, I found tons of various buildings, but none of them were Tony's. Dang, surely it has to be somewhere around here. I kept exploring, not losing sight of hope. After a while though, it was difficult to keep my spirits up.
Keep your head up, kid.
Huh? Who are you?
I'll let you take a guess. Excelsior!
Old Man Jenkins?
No, I'm Stan Lee, the creator of such characters like Spider-Man, Thor, Doctor Strange, and many, many more.
I quickly realized I was talking to a comic book legend, and also I had killed most of his heroes. Yeah, those guys are great! Hey, have you seen Iron Man's aircraft around here by chance?
That massive thing? I can't say I have. It's hard to find because of its cloaking technology.
Cloaking technology? Ugh, then I'm never gonna find this thing.
You're lacking inspiration, kid. Follow me. I've got something to show you.
I did what Stanley asked, and he guided me to his very own comic book shop.
You see all these comics?
Yeah, there's so many.
This here's years and years of hard work. Was it tough at times? Yes. But did I give up? No way.
I don't understand.
Sheesh, kid. You're not getting what I'm putting down, are you?
You really like comics?
Look, I don't know why you need to find Tony, but the most important thing you can do is persevere, even when the task seems impossible.
Yeah, you're right. It might seem impossible to find Tony, but if I keep at it, I'll find him in no time.
That's the spirit.
I also need to figure out how to get this Carnage parasite out of my head.
Excuse me?
Oh, nothing. I then thanked the wise old man and left with my head held high. I made it back home just in time for Carnage to wake up from his nap.
Where's my chicken nuggies?
Sorry, they were all out.
What?
Why don't I make it up to you? Let's go get some chimichangas.
Okay.
We arrived at the chimichanga stand, but there was no one working. Aw, man, I'm really hungry.
Happy Taco Tuesday! You're our 100th customer!
Wow, what do I get?
A sword in your head!
Ah, I just wanted a chimichanga! Deadpool lunged at us, dual-wielding his 2 katana swords. He was a surprisingly skilled swordsman, despite his goofy personality. He would slash at us with swift movements which we tried to evade. We had to use everything we had to try and take him down. Thanks to Loki's telepathic abilities, we were able to throw pieces of the road at him from afar, and even teleport to a higher vantage point to strike down lightning from above. After a while, Deadpool switched to his gun and fired at me. We had a battle of range, but neither side was giving in.
Make sure to get my good side, camera guy!
We fought and fought, but eventually it started to seem hopeless. The guy just couldn't die. Luckily, after a while he got tired and stopped.
Ooh, that was a lot of fun. I'll let you go now.
What was the point of that?
Hey, we gotta have the obligatory filler fight scene. And hey, viewer, if you're still watching, how about you subscribe? Max and the team would really appreciate it.
Again, what?
Onward to Bronzo's channel next.
With that, he backflipped away into the sunset. Well, that service was terrible. After our weird encounter with Deadpool, we headed back to the base. Once we arrived, we noticed a letter waiting for us. We humbly invite the current wielder of Mjolnir to the Tournament of Champions. Battle it out with the strongest heroes to show your might.
It's an all-you-can-eat buffet of superpowers. Sign me up.
Carnage quickly took over control and headed towards the tournament. Upon arriving at the location, a wide audience cheered as we entered the arena.
Wow, this is incredible.
I have stage fright.
Don't worry, you stay in our head and I'll be the star.
Our challenger has arrived. Let the tournament begin.
We battled foe after foe, but no matter what, none could defeat us. We took down contestant after contestant until there was no one left to face us.
Where's the main course?
Suddenly, the ground trembled and the Hulk entered the stage.
Hulk smash Fred Killer!
Without hesitation, the Hulk furiously charged towards me and we began the final battle. His name wasn't just for show. He was massive in size and muscle, making each of his attacks incredibly strong. The Hulk charged at us and slammed his fist with everything he had, but we weren't gonna give in that easily. Using our webs, we slowed the hero down and threw a number of blocks at him with Loki's powers. I even grew large with Ant-Man's abilities to match his massive size. I could tell he was getting weaker, so I took my shot and bombarded him with webs, bringing him down once and for all. After a tough fight, we gained the Hulk powers and transformed into a hulking powerhouse.
Who's the next hero I'll get to slaughter?
After winning the Tournament of Champions, we returned home to expand the base.
I demand a statue in my honor for defeating the Hulk.
Not something to be proud of, but I guess you earned it. We got started on making a sheep pen to house sheep to collect some wool. To please Carnage, we began by building him a statue of himself. Using lots of red and black wool, we made something that would resemble his head. My finest work yet.
That looks nothing like me.
After tending to Carnage's needs, I began expanding to account for our added size. I think this looks pretty good. Finally, time to relax.
Honey, I'm home.
Just in time. Dinner's ready, babe. Wait, why am I the one in a dress?
That's because I'm the main controller of this body.
No way! You're nothing without me, you parasite!
Without me, you're not good at anything.
You're so mean! This is why I can't tell you things!
You're keeping secrets from me?
No?
What are you hiding, you little worm? You know how powerful I am. I could snuff you out in an instant.
Carnage, it's nothing, I swear. If something was going on, I'd tell you.
What? How did you two get into my house? Get out of here! That's much better.
Wanda's home!
Whoa, that was weird.
Hey, I'm on to you, bub. I'll find your little secret.
I needed to find Iron Man quickly, before Carnage realized I was hiding something. On days 68 through 70, we continued to look for Iron Man, looking to the sky for more Stark bots.
Time for some rest and relaxation, Maxi boy. Look for more heroes during my catnap.
Carnage went away, giving me control and a chance to keep looking for the lab. After some traveling, I saw something falling from the sky. What the? It hit me on the head, causing me to pass out.
Things have progressed nicely, I see.
Yes, Mr. Stark. Thanks to our partnership, we'll be able to use the power of this creature for good. What the? What's happening?
Run! The symbiote has escaped!
Wow, were Tony and my parents able to capture the symbiote again? I looked down, realizing that the thing that hit me on the head was a book. We'll be skybound again like always. Starting to like the view of the clouds. Tony. I'm getting close, but I better continue later before Carnage catches on. On days 71 through 74, I returned back to the base when Carnage woke back up.
Any luck finding a hero?
Nope. Sorry.
You're useless. I'm taking over and we're going for Wolverine next.
Suddenly, we heard footsteps behind us. Carnage turned around, revealing Rogue.
If you want Wolverine, then you'll have to go through me.
Who are you?
I'm Rogue, one of the X-Men.
The who?
The X-Men. We're an elite band of mutants who fight against scum like you.
Ooh, she's in a band? Cool.
Good for you for playing music with your friends, but I'm going to go kill Wolverine now.
I can't let you do that.
Watch me.
We charged at her with intent to kill, but she used her power and turned us into a tiny symbiote.
Good luck taking powers like that.
Come back here.
On days 75 through 77, I was a helpless little blob, and I had to figure out how to get back to normal.
Let's go find Rogue.
Okay, good idea. We were searching for her for a while, when I had an idea. I know what to do! We can set a trap for her! We found a spot and started digging the deepest hole we could.
Now we need bait.
Carnage put down a sign titled Comic-Con ahead, and we ducked into a hiding spot to wait. Comic-Con? Nobody would fall for that.
Shh, she's coming.
Just then, Rogue noticed the sign.
Comic-Con already? Yay!
She ran forward, falling into the trap and to her demise. Upon her death, we returned to our empowered state. She also dropped the map titled Wolverine.
Now that's more like it.
On days 78 through 81, we followed the lead to find Wolverine. Look, man, I think you've killed enough heroes.
Not until every last one is dead. Besides, I don't take orders from you.
We continued following the map until arriving at its destination.
You can't hide from me, Wolverine. I'm gonna find you.
Not if I find you first.
He snuck up on us. He got a few hits on us, but then we sprung into action. Wolverine used his unbreakable claws to slash away at us with great speed. He was able to dash and avoid our attacks and seemed to best us up close, even with our Hulk strength. Thankfully, each hit we did land would deal massive damage.
Carnage smash!
We duked it out, neither side moving an inch, but there was one big problem. Wolverine was crazy strong, and every time we hit him, he started regenerating immediately. Time to kill the unkillable! We whipped down every power in our arsenal and obliterated him from the face of the earth.
I did it! I killed Wolverine!
We absorbed Wolverine's powers, gaining his claws.
I am a god!
With Carnage growing so powerful, I was really starting to worry about the fate of the world. Oh boy. On days 82 through 84, we returned back to the base when Carnage noticed something was off about it.
This place is boring. It needs more red to make it pop.
We got started by shearing some sheep for more wool. We then added all of the colored wool all around the base to give it that Carnage flair. Afterwards, I gave the base my own touch-ups to make it that much better. It might still be missing something.
Tentacles!
It wasn't what I had in mind, but Carnage had a strong hold on me at the moment. We used all of the remaining red wool to create the giant tentacles Carnage had requested. Once complete, the base expansion was finally finished.
I like it. We did good, Max.
Glad we can finally agree on something.
Well, all this building has made me tired. I'm taking a nap, but when I wake up, we're hunting down Venom.
Carnage then went to sleep and gave me back full control. I knew with his new strength, Venom wouldn't stand a chance against him. I gotta find Tony before it's too late. I began wandering around, making sure to keep my head up to better search for this mystery aircraft. All I managed to find was a crick in my neck. My neck! After a lot of searching, I didn't find much of anything until something massive came into my view. Whoa, that must be it!
Must be what?
Nothing! Carnage quickly spotted what I found and realized what was happening.
That's a helicarrier. You're looking for Iron Man, you traitor!
Wait, what's that heading straight for us? Another superhero flew from the ship and down towards us. As a precaution, Carnage transformed us back into our large form.
That's Captain Marvel. Are you trying to get us killed?
Hey, stop right there!
Without warning, she flew in and attacked us with her immense strength. We had no choice but to defend ourselves. Captain Marvel could not only fly, but she could empower herself to move at lightning speeds. She ran into us like a truck, powering up her attacks to deal massive damage. Whenever she sent me flying into the air, I avoided fall damage by teleporting back to the ground. We tried to slow her down with our webs and land powerful attacks with our fists when she got too close. This went on for a while, and we were both beginning to tire out. On the verge of death, we managed to just barely take her down and gain 5 hearts and the ability to super jump.
With this new power, we have the ability to jump to the airship. But first, I need to take care of you, Max.
On days 89 through 91, Carnage was angry with me.
I can't believe you, you lying, sniveling piece of garbage.
Look, man, we can talk about this.
What is there to talk about? You betrayed me.
What makes you say that?
You were going to talk to Tony Stark. What other reasons could you have?
I, had a question about computers?
You're gonna pay for lying to me and going behind my back.
What are you gonna do? You can't hurt me. If I die, you go back to being a weak, lonely parasite.
That isn't true. If I break your mind, I can overpower you forever.
We'll see about that. I've been training to defend myself from you.
It won't be enough.
He lunged at me, and I desperately tried to defend myself. Carnage released a flurry of attacks at me using Wolverine's powerful claws. Thankfully, this time I had a blade of my own to fend him off. I tried to block his attacks as well as evade with dodge rolls, but I was still only a human against an alien monster. My training with Venom definitely made me more resistant to his strength, but despite it all, my mind was too weak. His psychic powers were too overwhelming. Eventually, he beat me down, and I fully lost control of my body.
Now I will stop at nothing until Tony Stark is dead. I'll never let you get to that lab.
On days 92 through 94, Carnage had full control over my body and he used our new jumping powers to fly up to the airship. When we arrived, Tony was there waiting for us on the bridge.
Tony Stark, I've got a bone to pick with you.
Really? I didn't think you had bones at all.
Carnage charged at Iron Man and started unloading on him with every power in our arsenal. Iron Man was able to fly and rain a storm of bullets onto us with a variety of weapons. Unfortunately for him, we had grown in strength beyond anything he had faced before. We fired a laser that melted through the ship like butter and struck at him with everything we had. His armor kept him safe from most of our attacks, but it was quickly dwindling in strength. Iron Man did his best to evade us in the sky, but even that wasn't enough to end the onslaught. Our godlike abilities were too much for Iron Man, and he fell to the ground defeated.
Max, if you're in there, the lab is just east of your old neighborhood.
No!
Yes! Thank you, Mr. Stark! Carnage killed him in a rage and gained 5 hearts in the process. On days 95 through 98, Carnage was tired from the fight, and I regained some control over my body. He would have to rest after using his power so much, which would be the perfect opportunity for me to take action.
Oh boy, I'm pooped. I wouldn't be taking a nap unless I absolutely had to, but I do.
Oh, okay.
No funny business.
Of course not. No funny business. You really put me in my place with that last fight.
Good.
The moment he was out, I regained full control and made a beeline for the lab. When I got there, I found the testing room my parents were in. Whoa, here it is.
Stop right there, monster!
You can't stop me. I'm free now, and it's time to find a suitable host.
What do we do?
Don't worry. If he does find a host, I have the cure hidden underneath our house.
That's why my mom was at home. She was trying to grab the cure. I ran back to my old neighborhood. After some digging, sure enough, the cure was waiting for me underground. I went to grab it, but suddenly my arms turned red.
I said no funny business. I'm destroying this worthless cure.
Before Carnage could dispose of the potion, Venom broke through the wall. On day 99, Venom and Carnage were in their final forms, talking it out.
Well, look who decided to show their ugly face. I see you got an upgrade as well.
Your onslaught ends now, Red One. Release your host.
Why would I do that when I'm only getting started?
I tried to resist Carnage, but he was too powerful to stop. We charged at Venom with all of our might. He fought us off with his smash attack, and Carnage started striking him with lightning. Despite all of the powers we had gained along the way, Venom wasn't giving in. He had grown in strength too since our last battle, so much so that we felt like this was the end. Give it up, Carnage! Venom is more powerful than you! You'll never win!
Too bad I'm smarter than him.
Just then, Carnage used Loki's teleportation abilities to teleport behind Venom and land a lethal blow. The other symbiote fell to the ground in critical condition.
I'm the most powerful creature alive.
Max, you must stop him before it's too late.
Venom died, breaking something deep in me. I was angry. Carnage!
Why are you so mad, Maxie? Look at how strong we've become.
I never wanted any of this. Murdering heroes is no way to gain strength.
That's why I've been the one in charge. You're too weak.
You're not the only one who's gotten stronger over these 100 days. I've gained strength in ways you could only dream of.
Yeah, right. Do you know why Cletus and I worked so well together?
Because you were both total psychopaths?
Sure, yeah. But also because he was strong, both mentally and physically. I struggled to keep him in line. With you, it's been a piece of cake.
I'm strong too! I'm warning you, Carnage. I could hurt you if I wanted.
Then show me.
I charged in at Carnage with all of the strength I had. It was time to take my body back no matter what it costs. Carnage now had new Venom powers, giving him a range advantage over me. He sank into the shadows and launched attacks from afar, but luckily I was able to evade most of them. Whenever we got up close, we clashed weapon to weapon. He was still incredibly strong, but I was more determined now than ever to win. My mental strength gave me a boost and allowed me to push through each thing Carnage threw at me. I counterattacked with heavy blows of my own and began to get the upper hand. I honed in everything Venom had taught me and struck down Carnage, allowing me to regain control. I better make the most of this opportunity. I pulled out the cure as fast as I could.
You'll never get rid of me.
Watch me! I threw down the cure, weakening Carnage and separating them from my body. I landed the finishing blow, killing Carnage and freeing the world from his onslaught. I did it!